Hello. Good morning, guys. Good. Welcome to our weekly commentary. We'll be sorry we weren't able to do this yesterday night as normally planned in our session and everything, but this morning we just briefly want to look at what we're just gonna do this very quickly, right? So this is our weekly commentary. Welcome to the God of Indices channel. This is our weekly commentary. Please ensure if you're watching this, ensure to like and subscribe so we can get to as many traders who need this as possible, right? So as our plan always is, we trade GU, right? Stick to one currency pair so we understand the nuances of the currency pair and how it moves, right? So today we're looking at GU, want to see what we are anticipating for the week in GU, right? So firstly, I said as day traders and scalpers that we don't bother ourselves to look too much at the monthly time frame. We just want to see where price is currently now. So looking at GU on the weekly time frame right now, what do we see here? We see that GU gave us an explosive bullish engulfing candle, creating what we call creating the bullish weekly order block, right? Comes from what we can see from GU. We've been having a bullish movement with all inefficiencies filled, right? You can see every fair value gap on the weekly time frame is being filled. If we look at this, you see this. We always fill the fair value gap before we move. We fill the fair value gap before we move. Where we've been coming from, like always say that we always want to see where price been coming from, where price currently is, and we're anticipating where price is going. Can you see all the fair value gaps have been filled, right? You see this? Filled, right? So right now we see with this week here, currently we want to see the next place price is going to. Okay, so we want to see how price is going to react. As you see from this movement, we see that from every engulfing, creating an order block that GU does, you see, it just retests the fair value gap with the order block and it continue moving through. I've seen how I've gotten an engulfing. We have an order block resting here, right? This is another block here. This is the last down close candle before that impulsive move. That's the order block. So what are we? So there are two things. Either GU will be expanding, right? Either GU is going to be expanding on the weekly time frame, expanding upward, right, to create a fair value gap, then to come back into this gap and retest the order block before it continues moving up on the weekly. This is what we see on the weekly. So we jump down to the daily time frame and see what price is doing in the daily time frame. You can see with daily time frame we've had successive buy side delivery. So we have an imbalance and inefficiency left behind here, right? So most likely we won't see this because from the run of external range liquidity, we run external range liquidity here. We want to see price come back to internal range liquidity. So we run this old high, right? Buy side liquidity, we run here. So we want to see price come back within this range to fill in this one-sided delivery. We had a one-sided buy-side delivery to fill this place here before continuing to the upside. Most especially, we're seeing that we have a fair value gap sitting in this point, right? So if GU is not very impulsive, this going into this week, this is what we want to see. This will be our drawn liquidity. We can also have this maybe to get a bullish day will close up before coming down to this place and going up. These are the likely scenarios we want to see. But short term, I always say this, we always want to trade what we see, we react to what the candle prints, right? Even though we are anticipating what the price is going to do, but we react off of what the price action will see, right? So I'll be waiting to see what price is going to do today, considering the fact that today is even Monday, right? So Mondays, like we know, we have our weekly profiles. Mondays, most times, our accumulation, right? We have a lot of choppy price action and accumulation. Then we get the manipulation in Tuesday or Wednesday, creating either the low or the high of the day to now give us the distribution for the week, right? So today is Monday. The way we trade is we always want to look at the daily range, seeing our previous daily range, right? We see we're in a somewhat like a doji in the previous range. We are still bullish, right? Because we had a previous bullish closure before we had this like doji within the range of the bullish candle, right? So we want to see what price will do, right? Is price just going to start to give us the retracement to Monday, Tuesday, or create the low of the week on Tuesday or Wednesday by coming to this fair value gap before we continue our expansion upward. We don't know. We don't know what price is going to do. But likelihood, this is where we are anticipating price to come into. So if you ask me, I'll say for this week, for today, I'll be looking more of the reaction. This will be my drawn. This fair value gap will be my drawn liquidity, right? Going to be my likely drawn liquidity, considering also the fact that we left an inversion fair value gap that we just closed above. Remember last week, do we remember we said that this was our last point of defense for bearishness? Once we close above this, we are going to be going aggressively upwards, and that's exactly what happened. Immediately we close with the candle closure above this fair value gap. You see, the next 2 days were bullish, right? Right. So we didn't hold to continue bearish. See, we saw a minor rejection of it, but price broke above it, right? And one thing you also want to make you notice that as soon as you see price close above the consequent encroachment, which is the midpoint of the fair value gap, there's a likelihood that price will continue upward and close above the fair value gap. Immediately you see price. Once we saw this candle on Monday, we saw that this candle came and closed above the midpoint of this FVG. That was an indication that we are bullish for that week, right? And that's what we said last week. We said once we see price close above this, this is the last line of defense for the bearishness. Once price close above it, we are going up, and that was what happened. So this week is what we're looking at for this week, right? This is what will guide us. However, we know we can go into our H4 and our H1, right? H1 to see our market structure and see where price is going up to follow price action, right? So thank you guys so much. I hope this was insightful and impactful, and I hope this gave you a direction to see where you are going to be trading off for this week. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful trading week ahead.